Yeah! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nice. Seeing a vibe into the tunes. Amazing. Welcome everybody in the cyberspace to the fifth episode of AWS for Games presents AWS GameTime, a show where we get to meet our wonderful customers and discuss about their games. And today we have Second World Games, amazing studio, and we have Inigo and Carlos joining us. And as your hosts today, we have myself, Darshi McKenzie, and I don't know which side, yep, Taras Mogetish. Amazing to be here. Cool to maybe go straight to you guys and give you a little chance to say hello and hi about you and tell us about yourself. And I know you have an awesome presentation. We have some cool footage and some game time elements, and just giving you yeah, the intro.
Carlos, go ahead, please.
Okay. Hi, hello everyone. We are Second World Game. We are a Web3 development, game development studio. We have been around here for more than a year now. We are more than 30 people in the team. And yeah, today we are here, Inigo and myself. We are two of the main founders of the game studio, actually. I'm the CTO, the one in charge of technology, the one leading with AWS platform, etc. And Inigo is the head of ecosystem, which means like almost everything related to community, from community to investors to providers, etc. He's the one in charge of like keeping the engines flowing. So your turn, Inigo.
Well, he couldn't define it better. I came from the corporate world, and I'm amazed by the entrepreneurial spirit and vibes that we have been going through for the last year and a half. I also, as a hobby, play a lot of games, and I actually teach classes in university, and I'm very passionate in general about open innovation and everything we can accomplish through collaboration and continuous support to each other.
Yeah, he's a cool teacher, actually.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's great.
Let the students define that.
The cool hip gaming teacher that we all wanted, that's amazing. So which one you've been gaming a lot? Just as an icebreaker, I'd be happy to hear your favorite game, maybe of all time, even though you don't want to say that, you don't have to, but a few maybe, or and a recent game apart from your own game.
I have to say, Darcy, that I don't want to get too emotional, but when I was around 12, 13 years old, I was in the national selection of Medal of Honor when we didn't drive Ferraris, or we were known, or we weren't interviewing Messi in our extra time. So I mean, it was very different back then, but it's true that now recreationally, I'm basically playing all sorts of games, from Clash of Clans to all the Nintendo saga, and obviously the shooters are my thing. I love Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Fortnite, etc., etc.
Nice,
yeah.
Nice.
From my side, of course, shooters, because I mean, I raised as a child, like playing these kind of games. But the game that I have played the most, I started playing it like maybe 15 years ago or more, is Tribal Wars. Tribal Wars is a game, I don't know if it still exists, but it was like a desktop strategic game where you it's an strategic game. And now when recently I have go to play mobile games, I'm more than a casual mobile game player. Right now I have spent thousands of hours in Supercell ecosystem, of course, which I know it's in AWS also. And more recently, when I headed to the crypto space and to the gaming industry, I started playing Axie Infinity. Actually, right now I think last season of Axie Infinity, I was in the challenger category, which is the last one. So yeah, that's pretty much my journey.
Nice. Okay, cool. Oh, that's same. But Taras, what's your favorite game?
Oops, Taras, we don't hear you.
You are mute, I think.
I don't have audio. I will replicate what you say. Oh, my favorite game is absolutely Street Fighter Alpha 2. No.
Move your lips and we recreate.
Let's just try. I'll try to.
How about now?
Yay!
How about now?
Now we
Yeah,
hear you.
we're back. We're back. Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So my favorite game is Halo Reach. It's massive FPS fan, and the soundtrack, the campaign, just one of my most favorite games ever. And yeah, any FPS yeah, fans out there, drop in the comments of any FPS games you love. How about you, Darshi?
Oh yeah, thank you for asking. I wasn't sure if you're gonna ask me, so I was like, oh, what should I say? Zelda: A Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. Yeah, that took me by storm, and it built out my whole future. Like my whole essence of life is about that kind of game in its real world. It's like I'm leveling up, I'm gaining skills, I'm facing bigger challenges, and I'm on this adventure called life. And I know there's a very childish maybe look to it, but it works for me, and I just love the soundtrack and then the footage, and also that it's an ongoing so long that's been with us so long. I don't know if there's any other series that are coming out with new releases like that. You know,
I think it is.
there's
They are
few
launching.
around, of course, but it's one of the big ones. But yeah, so I love that stuff. Maybe I was asking my wife to name my daughter Zelda, but she thought that was way too geeky. But yeah, maybe next time if there's any more kids coming. But yeah, definitely cool. All right, so that's awesome. Great to have you here. I know you have a few really cool slides, and to not kind of prepare our audience a little bit. Yeah. It's a, let's call it like a deep, not a deep dive, but a surface look on a Web3 studio, and the presentation is not death by PowerPoint, but more so illustrations to the talk tracks, which it should be, as using a PowerPoint presentation as an aid, and the main content barrier obviously is Inigo and Carlos. So we'll loop that one up and commence the beautiful journey into understanding where Second World Games came from and what you're all about.
Well, thank you so much for the intro. I have to say I love the video as well that you played initially. It was really, really awesome, and it brought me to a lot of memories from the past and from now, from yesterday actually. So it was awesome. For us, today is a very, very, very special day, not only because we are on the May the 4th and we are fans of that too, but because we want you to be part of our story, and not only to follow us, but to really be part of our team today. And we feel this is a wonderful opportunity to go ahead and do that. So definitely welcome. And because we want to make you part, we would really, really, really appreciate if you scan the QR. No virus promised, AWS checked on all the security. But we really want you to join the tribe, the Second World Games community, and help us shape what we are building, and make you part of it. I will just spend a few more seconds so you all get your phones and join us. There will be more opportunities to do so later. But definitely what we are really creating here is that, given that we are all players in the team, that's what really unites us, is that we are the game studio by players for players. And that's why we really need you to come along in this story and create it with us. And we are not really kidding. I mean, this is some of the things we do during the weekend. Actually, Cameo was the winner in this little battle zone with virtual reality that we did. And with that, I want you, Cameo, Carlos, to actually explain who is behind Second World.
Actually, I was not only the winner of that battle, but in every battle we have made. So yeah, so that's like a small fraction of our team. If you go to the next slide, Inigo. Okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit more. I started mentioning that Inigo and myself were two of the main founders of the game studio. When we first started our journey, myself and Carlos Ripoll, which is the CEO of the company, we have been on the entrepreneurship world for quite a long now, like 10 years from now. We started developing apps, especially we have been in the tech industry always. We have raised at different fundraising stages, etc. But And we were partners of Inigo and Nacho and other founders from the beginning, and Alejandro. And we first saw them and tell them, okay, we want to make a company in the gaming industry, in the blockchain gaming industry, because it mixes two industries that we really love. We are gamers from when we were little, and we love blockchain technology and everything that this technology is allowing us to achieve. So let's build a game development company. So Inigo and Alejandro and also Marco and Nacho were working not on the entrepreneurship world, but on the big tech company. Inigo came from IBM, Alejandro came from AWS, actually. Marco came from the Pokemon company, etc. So we gathered the best people we find out there, and we start building the team, which is the best possible team that we can create or gather to develop video games. I'm sure of it. So
Carlos, just a quick question. What do you think? So you're setting this team up, right? And you have the ground idea. How did you do anything special to portray your vision? Was it more so about your spirit and your excitement and your energy, or was it more about the plan, the logical plan, and the layout that mattered for? Was it individualized? Very important. I think a lot of this show is all for the indie studios, and the sharing is caring, right? So a lot of people might be a 2-people band or one person with a dream. I have a dream, and they want to get to where you are. So that could be just a quick insight.
Okay, I think when you start a company, you need to be passionate about what you are building. If you are not passionate enough, you are not gonna get too long. So when we first started, it was a matter of passion. We started, Carlos, myself, Inigo, Alejandro, Nacho, and Marco, and we started with passion. We have never worked in the gaming sector yet. So although we definitely knew how to build companies, how to work in big tech companies, we didn't know much about the gaming world. So that's why we initiated a process to find a person that has that previous experience in the gaming sector, and that person was Alberto. We chose Alberto, of course, by his background, but it was also something like emotional. We felt like a perfect match with him when we first met him. He's our game producer. He came from Meta Gaming, and he has plenty of experience building and reviewing and designing games. So he's the one responsible for the next members of the team. We are now more than 25 30 people, and almost all of them came from Alberto experiences. So we started with passion, then we met him, which is like the head behind every one of us, and he built the entire team. And the team, I mean, it's amazing. We have like the different branches a game studio needs to be developed, which I'm pretty sure everyone is aware of. Game design, art, implementation, programming, technical artist, technical designing, concept, 3D artist, etc. And of course, graphic design. And we have all the branches covered. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have to say that when I was around 12 years old, I didn't expect that I would live of gaming, and it's incredible because it wasn't only about entertainment. Gaming brought me to the English language. It was the first time that I really got to learn a new language and to meet people from many countries around Europe, because at the time it was complicated to play with people in other markets. So in a way, it wasn't only an entertainment thing, but actually a possibility for growth, a possibility for education, for socialization. And then when all this opportunity in a lunch together with the rest of co-founders appeared, I started wondering, well, when did really entertainment begin? And I went back to one of my favorite movies once again, like Gladiator, and I realized that even much before than Gladiator and the Olympics by the Greeks, we had entertainment. Probably ever since we started reasoning, we started getting entertained. Actually, when a baby is born, after crying, pretty much the next thing they do is get entertained. But the possibilities of this entertainment brought me a lot of attention, and obviously not only fun-wise, but business-wise, right? So Definitely since the 60s, we have seen a lot of entertainment merging with technology, but ever since the
Fun
internet
fact,
appeared,
Inigo.
yeah,
Fun fact, just in the Swedish word for entertainment and maintainment is the same. So
well,
I think when we entertain, we also maintain, right? So it's there's a kind of
love it.
beautiful essence to it. So well, let's do that as an essence to clear out certain thoughts,
Writing
emotions,
this down.
vibes that we.
I love that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I love that
The
one.
Swedish word is underhåll. Underhåll, everybody. There you go. Swedish for everyone.
Actually dropping
But
the
it makes
knowledge
sense from
bombs.
a
Love
language.
it. Love it.
Love it. But
Yeah. But
what we may agree for sure is that entertainment has merged with technology in a way that has created a whole new level of interaction, engagement, socialization, training, growth, all together, right? And that's what I felt and what I lived when I was 12. That thanks to the internet, I got to interact. I got to basically live something with people that I didn't even meet. That was something really spectacular at the time. And we are not only focusing about the power of the internet, but actually putting a zoom on mobile games because their capacity to actually bring entertainment to the masses and to do it in an exponential way. So basically, we have seen with mobile games a huge opportunity to allow everyone to entertain themselves, especially when you think that there's a lot of people around the world that don't have access to a bank account or don't even have a sovereign identity, but they will have a smartphone or a phone in their pockets that they can use to
Mm.
entertain themselves and to actually enter an economy that we will introduce very, very soon. And actually,
Yes.
related to this exponential era, I think apart from ChatGPT that is in everyone's conversations, there's no use case better than entertainment to actually bring mass adoption to the masses. We saw it with Pokemon Go, that is even more exponential than ChatGPT,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
only in 19 days it reached 50 million users. Probably Pokemon Go hasn't been more useful and to society than the telephone or computers or internet or mobile phones, but it has reached those number of users much faster than them. And to be clear, it's not only that Pokemon Go did magic, it's actually a phenomenon that we are seeing across mobile games, that they reach masses of people very, 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 very fast. And taking this into account is not only the internet that is the main facilitator of the exponential era, but actually, in my opinion, and actually before I used to work 5 years in cloud computing, so I feel like I know what I'm saying. The cloud has made it more accessible and available than ever to everyone out there. Okay, and I'm not only talking about the end user, if you see the left part of the picture, but also in terms of businesses like us, like game studios like us, that are are receiving lots and lots of tools that we could use, that we can use in a cost-effective manner to build entertainment for others. So we have those two sides, from the cloud gaming, streaming like we are doing just now, and then the building and development part that we can get from the cloud. And this is definitely a game changer. These are the main facilitators that allow for that massive exponential disruption. But not only them, with those two facilitators, we can add other disruptors, other exponential technologies that will allow us to really disrupt business models and industries as a whole. And now we feel we are in the
Maybe the
third wave.
change.
Yeah.
Sorry, quick one, Inigo. Maybe the change that you're going to refer to soon, but I was just thinking, I told my kids when I was a kid, I switched my Nintendo cassettes with my friends, and that's how we got games, and we bought them. So that type of trading mentality and even sharing mentality of like you own it, but then you switch it out. Maybe that is
Yeah, yeah,
what's
yeah.
happening now in game with the actual environment. It's just taking one step further into that kind of gaming world. Yeah, super cool, interesting
Definitely,
topic, right?
Darcy, but I feel it's not only that. It's not only that we are making games more interactive, more social, more growing. It's not only that we are making them more accessible and available than ever. It's actually that now our vision is that we can really create a new movement that changes the status quo of players and that turns them into decision makers and owners of everything they do while gaming. And we
A
feel
second
this
world.
is, what, exactly. And we feel this is huge, and it's only gonna mean huge growth for the market, because in the end, guys, I mean, we are taking the best of both worlds, from the interactiveness, the socialness, the experience part that Web2 has already provided, and we are really turning players into value owners of what they generate in their games. And this is where we are leveraging Web3 best benefits and Web2 best benefits to focus on that middle wave that we feel is gonna explode anytime. And guys, the market is already huge. The video games market is already above 200 billion. It's bigger than the movies, than the sports, and the TV industries combined. And we feel that now that we are going to change the status quo of players and give them much more than entertainment, give them additional rewards, additional benefits, we feel that this graph that you see here is only going to increase much more exponentially. That's at least how we see it, and in what we are betting on. So to sum up, our real purpose as a game studio is to create a new world of entertainment that turns players into owners and decision makers, and to enable them for the creator economy. And here is where I want to get into details with Carlos into how are we going to do all this.
Yeah, that's it. That sounds good. That's our strategy. That's our goal. But for doing so, we really need good games. We need great games. So I said we were a game development studio. That's true. From now, we already have a game released on the App Store and also on Google Play. I'm going to mention it, and we are going to show a gameplay video later on. But the biggest game we're working on right now is Second World. Second World, we're also now gonna see a video showing like the stage. It's that, but it's a city builder, a competitive city builder. It mixes two mechanics, city building mechanics from genres like SimCity, etc., with multiplayer and competitivity. You are gonna be able to build your own city, to choose a city from the real world. You are gonna be able to build on top of it, follow different strategies just to increase it economically and visually, and then you are gonna get to the fun part, which is attacking other players or defending your city. Yeah, this game right now, it's we are near the alpha version. We are gonna be launching it to a group of testers, a chosen group of testers that we are naming the council. We have more than 1,000 users already testing the game in the council, and we are gonna be releasing new versions from now on. And our main goal is just to make a soft launch of the game by the end of the year, or by Q3, Q4 this year. And yeah, this game shows like city building mechanics, and then wars, which is the thing we are seeing right now. I repeat, this is an alpha version or even a pre-alpha version, so the final look and feel of the game and the final mechanics will be really awesome. And yeah, this is Second World. Actually, this is not gonna be the game we launched first, but this was the game where everything was started with this kind of game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You need to terraform the world. You need to just discover new places. You can visit also different cities from other players, and it will definitely be a marketplace where we can make real this creators economy. What we think it's a pain in the gaming industry is that players are spending a lot of hours, enormous amount of hours playing games. Also, they are spending money to buy different skins, to buy like accelerators, cosmetics, etc. But they are not getting, they can't trade these assets, these things they are getting, or these hours they are spending to bring them to other games. We want to make it possible by creating a marketplace and allowing players to be in charge, or to be real owners of their progress, their assets, etc., and to be able to bring these assets to other games from our ecosystems, and hopefully to other ecosystems, which is something we are working on, especially from the ecosystem part with Inigo.
Yeah,
Nice one.
it's
Yeah,
an incredible one.
Yeah, and like the behind the scenes element as well. I mean, like seeing the rest of the team. I mean, it really seems that you guys have a lot of different backgrounds, both from corporate, both from gaming, both from the entrepreneurial side. Really being, that melting pot of really awesome ideas, and then again, producing some really exciting games. So yeah, I think up next we've got a little trailer, a little cinematic one.
And this trailer is very special because it's really, really private, but we felt this occasion was important enough to share it with everyone. So
wow,
Darcy
it was private until today. You are
exactly.
An exclusive.
This trailer. Yeah, that's
awesome. Let's go. So Taras, you helped me to understand this. I was like, so it's in the metaverse now? And then Taras said, yeah, look at his headphones are gone. And then it's gonna happen soon. Boom. All right.
Back to reality.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
But it's a good one. A good reality.
It's good stuff.
Love it.
Sweet.
Ta-da!
So that is kind of the essence that you want to have in second world.
It's time I see it, I love it more.
Yeah. It's a good proper quality, but that's the aura of the game then, and then the actual game time is a 2D or more flat world.
Yeah, actually it's a trailer about the company which shows our vision. Of course, it's oriented in the real world, in the different mechanics you are going to be able to play in second world, but it's not the same as the game. I mean, it's the trailer of the game studio. Shows our vision
of course,
mixing both real worlds and digital worlds. That's it.
Fabulous.
That's it.
Yeah, no.
So
you're doing proper stuff. Just say that. That's amazing.
Thank you. We try to. So yeah, and the second game we imagined I think we started this development 3 months ago. It's been a rush. We have been too fast. I think the fastest that we can be. The team has been working incredible on this. This is a hyper casual racing game. It was meant to be like a ball racing game, but then the art team started designing and creating like characters, amazing characters, and the stories behind the characters. And now we have like a super fun racing, massive multiplayer racing game. And yeah, the goal of the game is just to win other players in multiplayer races. We have like 2 different type of races. The first one are free to play. You'll be winning trophies, and you can use the trophies for purchasing skins, etc. Later on, we may include a battle pass or something like that. But we also have premium races. Premium races are already available in Google Play for Android users, not for Apple ones, but soon enough. And yeah, in premium races, you're gonna be able just to pay like a minimum, just a ticket for participating in the race. And these tickets will generate a bounty, and the bounty will be distributed amongst the top 3 or 5 players. Yeah, that's the game that it's already available on the stores.
And we are going to available in the app stores, but we should check the gameplay, I feel, right, Darshi, Taras?
Yeah, I think Darshi and I, we were the first 2 to play on the iOS version. So yeah, so thanks for giving us the opportunity.
It's all exclusive in this space.
We can run the trailer first, and then it's a short trailer, right? And it's a 20-second trailer, and then we can watch a little bit on the game time. We tried to, for the show and the audience watching, we tried to hack a live element. I do have a semi-working function. I wanted to say, hey, let's drop the QR code. Let's get people that are watching download the game and see if we can just do a live game with the audience in action. That would be pretty sick. Maybe we can resurface that after we watch some of the clip, and if you like, hooked up. So off we go. So it's absolutely not as easy as it looks. Absolutely not.
It's not easy at all.
No. And I'm Connect and Kimball partners. That's Taras. So that's yesterday when we raced each other next to each other, right? So it does work. And the multiplayer versioning, I played it myself first in the trial, and I was, impressed. It was a nice game. It worked, and then
I
we
beat
played
you.
multiplayer against. Yeah, you did first, and then we had a few goals, but when you got into the multiplayer essence, that turned out really fun, because it just enhances the interactivity with each other. You bounce into each other, and then it's a live environment. It could be against bots too, but it's always nice to know.
We hope to play with everyone that is attending the show. Maybe in the end, if we have time. If not, I will be playing probably in the afternoon, evening quite a bit, and I'll find you guys.
True. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back, because this is I'm really, really impressed by myself and this move. Check this out. Like, in this game, it's not hard. When everybody tries it, you'll understand. Like, whoa, hey, and then I failed. Okay, I shouldn't have shown that. But this is my view. And now Taras is leading, obviously. So yeah, I think there's a nice element to it in terms of the hype that they experience, but also the unexpected elements, and that you kind of have to. Some things you can't even prepare for. You just have to take it as it comes. And further down the track, it was quite nice when you ended up in like a tube world. And it's just all right. And then sorry, we just got a little bit of internal emails there. Sorry for that. Scooping out.
We're not sponsored by Slack, but if Slack is watching, do get in touch if you want to sponsor us.
Sorry for that, guys. And yeah, we can see how this element of the gambling part that you mentioned is not a gambling part, but do you put in, like, I don't know the frameworks, but say a pound each, and it's 100 players, and then the one top 3 takes it. And I know you had some struggles with Apple on that, right?
Yeah, it's like running a marathon or attending a race in the real world, where you pay like a ticket, and if you win prizes. This is the same. This is a skill-based game only. This is nothing related to randomness or something. But yeah, Apple is a little bit more tricky with app reviews. I'm pretty sure everyone that has developed and launched app apps to the app stores, it's aware of this. But yeah, I'm sure we are gonna make it sooner rather than later.
Nice. Yeah, and good that they let it through, because yes, it is not gambling when you can rely on skills. We can argue that poker is the same, but yeah, well,
Yeah,
no, that's
But there's variance in poker, and there's a percentage of luck. Here is pure skill,
true.
although you can play
True.
for free. Nobody has to spend a penny.
Of
But of
course.
course, if you are skilled enough, perhaps you wanna go to the races and play from as little as 10 cents and get into a pool that is bigger than that.
Yeah, but that's very exciting and engaging, especially when we got multiplayer. So maybe we don't have time today, and my my ad hoc improvised topic here might not fly today. But we'll look into it, of course. Still wish we flash the QR code again, so people, or you just go search in App Store and Google Play, Ball Guys. So
Ball
you
Guys,
can-
Fury Road.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
We were trending yesterday in the racing games app store.
Yeah, we were in the
nice.
very position.
No way. That's
Yeah,
so cool. Congrats, guys.
Make
Yeah,
us
now-
more
Well, one
trendy.
day launch. That's mad.
we are headed to
Oh.
the first position this
Love
month.
it. Love it.
We
Cool.
will share it with you.
Okay.
If the viewers have just joined us, yeah, we've got AWS GameTime episode 5 with our guests, Second World Games. We've got Inigo and Carlos here, just going over their really awesome games, how they're implementing Web3 using AWS, and yeah, showcasing some awesome gameplay. So yeah, Carlos, it'd be great to hear a little bit more about how you're building these games, right? So
Okay.
we've got a game architecture here, and like our viewers, they come from lots of different sort of backgrounds and skill levels. Some of them game developers, gamers, some of them cloud professionals. As in, if you are approaching this, it is a game backend. So, but I mean, in simple terms, like what is a game backend?
Okay. I mean, when you face a game development, you need to care about a game development. Technically speaking, you need to care about the front end of the game itself, which is, in our case, they are made in Unity. And then you need to care when you include multiplayer functionalities, especially multiplayer mechanics and users authentication, etc. You need to start thinking about the backend. A backend is not made in Unity. There are different programming languages to create backends. For those who came from the software development world and not from the gaming industry, you may be familiarized with Node.js, PHP, etc. But for the gaming industry, these programming languages or frameworks doesn't work the same, because especially for Ball Guys, for example, for a game like Ball Guys, the one we have just seen, you need to address like a ton of multiple concurrent connections. You need to gather many players in different servers running at the same time without lagging. We need to be aware of the ping, etc. So there are other backend infrastructures or backend programming languages. Is it the case of Nakama, which is the one we are using. Nakama is how we deploy our backend, and this is like an architecture, but that we have in both games. But before starting to talk a little bit more about the architectures, I would love to explain my journey myself.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been in AWS since I first started. Since I first started, but since I first started thinking about developing or creating backends. Because
how long ago is this?
Yeah, I think like I started programming 15 years from now. I think when I was like 11 years old, I developed my first game. Actually, I started with Unity. I started developing games, but then I changed. Yeah, full circle, completely. So I started as a front-end developer myself, but I was just working on personal projects. I loved games, and I developed my own game from Unity. This has nothing to do with anything that we have seen now. This was like a small game made by a kid, I mean. But then I started learning backend solutions, because my intention was to become like a full stack developer and to be able to create my prototypes by myself, my MVPs by myself. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur.
Welcome, another host.
This is the youngest generation gamers. Sorry, guys.
He will have to wait to play a bit our games, but we're waiting for him.
Sign him up.
Sweet. So my mascot. Sorry for that. Live show, guys. Yay.
Live show. That's the fun part of it.
That wasn't prepared, we promise.
No, it wasn't.
No. Yeah. Mini Darshi is entered the chat. Love that. Awesome. What to do? It's like that clip from that dude in the show. It's like where he's interviewing, and then the mom comes in and kind of like crawls in and drags out the kid, but she's fully visible. So that was anyways, cool. Should have a lock on that door. Okay. Sorry, Craig, continue, Carlos.
Don't worry, just don't worry. So yeah, that was it. I started as a front end, then back end, then I started playing with hosting providers, awful hosting providers, then to deploy my backends. And then I came up with AWS like 10 years ago, or 11 or more, or 12 years ago. And yeah, I started with the free tier, which is an amazing solution you got, guys, for everyone which is starting. I deployed my EC2 containers. I deployed my RDS databases, because of course a backend needs databases almost in any case. And then I started working professionally. I created with my partner, which is Carlos and Paul, a startup. We created an app, and then we created a software development company focused on deploying software technologies for startups. So I started learning how to do things properly. So I started using Elastic Beanstalk to professionalize everything, Amazon pipelines, then serverless architectures with AWS Lambda, etc. But always within the AWS ecosystem, because I think I control everything. I think I rely on them, and it's very cool. So when we started Second World, we started learning about gaming architectures, which has nothing to do in most of the cases with software architectures. We discovered Nakama. Nakama provides us with a very good solution for automatically deploy architectures and auto scale and etc. But we didn't want to leave AWS. We didn't want to have our architecture in other servers rather than AWS. That time was when we came had a meeting with an AWS member, and she told us about the possibility of using Nakama within the AWS ecosystem. And now we are working with Heroic Cloud, which are the developers of Nakama, but within the AWS ecosystem, which is amazing.
Shout out to our friends Heroic Labs for the Nakama solution.
Yeah,
also
definitely.
really cool. And really,
I posted
really
a
cool.
link to their marketplace offering. So they're an AWS partner, and they're on marketplace. It makes it super easy to procure and acquire their services, and they're built on top of AWS. So superb to see you working with them.
So walk us through, Carlos, a little bit around this architecture.
Okay. Actually, this architecture is, you may think it's a little bit complicated to deploy. It's a little bit complicated to understand, but not to deploy. This is just like a few clicks, and I'm not kidding. With Heroic Cloud, it's very, very easy to deploy it. But then you definitely need to know how to program the backend, etc. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's very easy. We have like everything is packed within the Heroic Cloud dashboard, which is the panel, the dashboard, where we just see the billing when we manage the users, the different roles for each user in the team, when we create and delete and update projects, because we have different games. Each game is a project. And when we just create the build tools to automate deployments with etc. Our game clients start land to our DNS, and then they land to the Heroic Cloud project. If it is Ball Guys, they will land there. If it is Second World, they will land in Second World. There we have a load balancer, which is in charge of like routing the traffic between the different instances or the different clusters. It does it automatically. And of course, we need to have login and metrics to see if there is any bottleneck or something that it's not working properly. And we manage there from each project, we manage the access levels for each team member or for each user. We also have not only load balancers to distribute the traffic back, auto-scaling group. I mean, this is something really important because when you have a project, you can deploy like a Nakama cluster or 2 Nakama clusters and then create a load balancer to distribute the traffic between them. But if you, for example, today you have like an increase in the traffic you are getting to your platform because of a live stream on Twitch or something like that, you need something that auto-scales the Nakama clusters for a certain period of time, and then to turn them off in order not to be too expensive. So that's what auto-scaling do. And then it's Nakama clusters is like, it's like you can see in the right side of the slide. You have like the different endpoints or APIs or services for each mechanic that it's related to the multiplayer. You have the matchmaker, the leaderboards. You also have some custom functions because each game it's.
Quick question, Carlos.
Yeah.
So one of our viewers actually, Charlie Corner. I'm afraid I can't surface it on the stream. I think they've got a restriction. But anyway, their question is, how important is the backend to support all of the front end needs?
I mean, quick answer. The front end, once it's tested, it never fails. So the front end doesn't fail when it is tested. But the backend or the server can always be failing because it's a dynamic environment. It's very difficult to test every situation you are gonna meet in the live. So backend is like I wouldn't say it most important than frontend because it's not, but it's something that needs to be robust, needs to be reliable, because if the backend fails, it doesn't matter how well built the frontend is.
Cool. And I guess a follow-up to that is, how do you manage the observability of the backend, right? Because you can't always see everything.
Yeah. Okay, we from this panel, we can see everything that our backend is doing, from bottlenecks to failing points to, I mean, everything. We can monitor everything with it. But we really want to increase the ability to monitor everything that is happening in our game or in our backend. So that's why we are now we're planning on introducing AWS Analytics on our backend architecture, so that we could have like a better understanding of what's happening within the backend, within the game. So that's it.
Super clear. Nice one. Yeah, got another one here from Mark Cloud Arc. Thank you very much for asking. How are you handling performance on the network firewall with all of the simultaneous connections?
Okay, actually, up to now, Nakama has been doing this work for us because we are not live. I mean, we launched the game yesterday on App Store and last month on Google Play. So up to now, we have not met a higher traffic. So up to now, we are not having any troubles on that. But this is definitely something we are keeping in mind, and we are working on it, and we will discover. We are making like a soft launch, different. Our launch of the product, our marketing campaigns are like we are doing them in different steps, so that we will be able to detect any problem that we may have before it actually happens in a broader public.
Got it. Awesome stuff. And you mentioned that you got some ideas there in the pipeline for how to sort of grow your stack, right? So as you guys near closer to the beta access, and will your tech decisions change as your player base will grow? Like, do you expect it to change a lot?
Okay, actually, the architecture that we have defined and that we have running up to now, we don't plan to change it in the near future. We are really sure that it will manage many users, or the users that we want to receive in the platform. But what we are really looking into implementing is as I mentioned, we want to know our users better, not only for login or for server load, etc., but for knowing their interactions, the things they want, their feedback, the mechanics they would like to implement, and the mechanics that are not working for them. That's why we need to first start implementing like data gathering solutions, like I mentioned, AWS analytics, or also other solutions that you have, for example, SageMaker, etc., or Lake Formation, etc. Different data gathering and data storing tools. And then we will love to start implementing like different machine learning solutions to learn from them. I mean, we plan to gather many data. First, we need to gather it in order to start making these solutions work. But then we will love to implement like other services that you have, like for example, as I mentioned before, SageMaker will be the one that we'll be using here, and also for anything related to image processing, etc. We will love to use AWS recognition or something like that. Yeah.
Exciting
And just
stuff.
to add one point here is, in the end, we want to have as much data as possible on chain. So we are going to be leveraging data that is verified, that is transparent, and that is open to anyone in our ecosystem. And that's where the real magic will happen, right? Because one of the main issues we always have with data is how much we can trust this data, right? So that's, in my opinion, one of the points that is definitely gonna mean a lot for us to use the AWS stack and ML, deep learning solutions, to actually work with everything that we are putting more and more on chain.
And we have a pretty cool question that relates to that. Will it be possible to, from Charlie Corner, thank you, Charlie, will it be possible to interconnect between games into Second World Games family? If so, using rewards between them other. And this other thing sits together also with maybe some of your future possible work areas in terms of integrating into other gaming worlds with the Web3 true interface, which is the still firming up, I would say, in terms of what will it be. So interesting topic.
I would love to start answering this question with just a quick answer. First of all, this is a great question because it's one of our main goals as a company, as a game development company, just to achieve that interconnection or interoperability between our games, so that the players can like reuse the amount of hours or resources they have gained in other games. Now we have like a similar or the same currency in these two games, which is our token. This currency is also our token, our game, our governance token. So if you play Ball Guys and you win races, you're going to be able to earn this in-game currency. And then when Second World is released, you are going to be able also to use or to transfer this currency to the Second World game and use it to start developing your city in a faster way, for example. This is only a way that we have already in mind and implementing. But Inigo
Charlie approves. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and in the wish list is not only to have an ecosystem of entertainment where players go from game to game without losing their experience and value, but to actually start connecting with other entertainment gaming ecosystems where we can start doing the same among all of them. I don't know how good we are with time. It seems like we have spoken for a while.
An hour is not a lot of
ecosystem, with the ecosystem slide, you may see as well with which type of partners we are building so far. Well, you have the first one in front of us in tech-wise, but then we are also partnering with players like Polygon for the. Oh, I can put it here. Oh, here it is. We are partnering with the best of the best to actually gain all the tech stack that we need to put players in the center and, as we said before, change their status quo. But then we are also working with different communities that are allowing us to really understand the gaming ecosystem better and provide them with all the tools that they need to succeed, basically. But in any case, I don't know if we have enough time for Carlos, because I think this is something that may be
let's leave it on a good note with a little gift instead. And I wanted to give the gift of your homepage to the audience and
Perfect.
what you've done there. So let me. This is
while Yeah,
This is
let's
the
go.
landing page, and let me just refresh it. I mean, I've been talking about us getting a landing page like this, something you come into and you're like, okay, I'm waiting, not sure what's happening. And it's like, okay, I'm in a 3D world here. Nice. So it's like obviously a fun little pixel game, right? Which I know you could do some small stuff here and there. You could press this one and it makes it
So
nice.
as we
Hey.
close, Carlos and Inigo, just some points of wisdom for our viewers, is in so taking stock of what you guys have built so far, the awesome 2 games you got lined up. Like, what kind of tips would you give to game developers in our audience?
I mean, first of all, I think Carlos highlighted it really well. I mean, it's always easier to put all your effort when there's a dream behind, right? When there's a passion that you go through. Obviously, that's not gonna solve your hard skills needs, but at least it's gonna make you concentrate on what matters and give everything to it every single day, every single minute. For me, the most important thing while leaving my comfort zone and getting into this crazy adventure is that I really wanted to do it and I was passionate about it. The hard skills are something that we are continuously learning, and in this era, it's harder than ever because you join your cloud and tomorrow we see a service that wasn't there yesterday, and there's all these things going on all the time, but it's really your attitude that makes it that makes you unbeatable in a way, right? So it's this dream that we have as a team of changing the status quo of players that is allowing us to continue making progress and beating milestones.
Yeah, and what Inigo says is it may sound like a cliche, because for me it always sounds like a cliche, but I don't know how to make you aware of how true it is. When you start a company, it doesn't matter if it's a game, an app, a restaurant, etc. It's always harder than you initially think it would be. Always. You don't know how or what can could be different or different to your plans, but it will be different to what you are thinking right now. So if you are not passionate enough, if you are not willing to spend more hours each day, you are not gonna make it. So that's it. And then finally, another cliche, but it's true: surround yourself with those who think different than you, because if you are gonna you need to have different point of view. That's something that enriches the game and everything.
Love it. Awesome. Well,
Perfect.
really awesome points that you shared there. I guess so the points for our audience. First of all, join the Second World Discord, download Ball Guys, and
Perhaps we can finish with the QR 1 second again, and let's do it for anyone that enjoyed it and want to be part of this story. Not only part, but create this story with us. We are really looking for you. Well,
love it. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Inigo and Carlos. It's been a pleasure to have you for episode 5 of Game Time.
Thank you very much.
It was our honor and our pleasure. I hope that we can come by the end of the year with a lot of success to share with you guys, because you will be part of it and we want to celebrate it together.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
And don't go
Thanks a lot,
anywhere,
guys.
guys. We have Jackie and Darko. They're running a pretty cool thing. They're building a serverless app to spit out Star Wars quotes. They are coming on the show after us. So if you want to stay tuned, we'll be streaming, dreaming, gleaming. We'll be steaming, everything. So rock on, everybody. Thank you, Inigo, Carlos, Taras. This is a pleasure as always. And may the 4th be with you.
Thank you so much, and game on. Game time always good.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much.
Ciao, ciao.